Hey everyone, welcome back to Playing Quietly. My name is Ryan, and today we are talking about the most recent hotfix to the First Descendant. This is going to be hotfix 1.1.2. So in this patch, we have a lot of really positive things to talk about, and it's really good to see that Nexon is really listening to the community here. We have a lot of legendary weapon buffs, we have some added value to the battle pass, and we have the tweaking of some mechanics. So the first thing that they're going to talk about here is the removal of certain dungeon penalties that are appearing within the invasions. We're not going to go through all of them, but basically a lot of the bullets that are costing double. And this is just a really good change in that I don't think anyone really is enjoying these penalties. These are definitely some of the more annoying ones, so it's good to see that they are getting rid of those. Next up, we are seeing that HP orbs that appear in intercept battles now recover 25% of max HP rather than 20%, and the MP orbs are recovering 16% of max MP instead of the previous 13%. Not a huge change, but still good to see. They are lowering the difficulty of normal and hard mode Dead Bride. They're going to be decreasing the frequency of teleport while frenzied, and they are decreasing the range of the snowstorm, which is the veil with the chill effect, and reducing the damage of the chill effect. They're also going to be decreasing the part HP of the amplifier, which, if I'm not mistaken, those are the two things that come out of her arm cannon during the frenzied phase. They're also going to be lowering the difficulty of normal Hanged Man. They're going to be greatly reducing the part HP of the Charger. This is the object inside the mouth while he is attacking in frenzied phase. They're going to be greatly reducing the damage of Thunder Wave. They're also going to be greatly reducing the damage of the Charging Laser, as well as decreasing the damage of the Thunderbolt skill that occurs while frenzied, and decreasing the duration of the electric cannon. This one makes a little bit more sense to me in that I think they are probably trying to streamline getting players into hard mode content. There are definitely a few hurdles throughout normal mode. I know for me, White Knight Gulch was a huge roadblock, and Hanged Man, I think, is another one of those really big roadblocks to hard mode. And getting players through the normal mode faster and into the hard mode content is going to allow newer players to more easily transition into the seasonal content. Next up, they lowered the difficulty for the Deception Transmitter Defense mission in Sterile Land Rockfall. This is another really good change that I'm really happy to see here. The knockdown damage will not occur in a row when damaged by traps. That is definitely a really annoying one when you mistime your grappling hook and then you kind of get juggled by the traps. Monsters are going to spawn faster in the extermination mission on Hard Infiltration Operation Echo Swamp Seed Vault, and they lowered the required amount for the collection mission. The data collection mission for hard mode infiltration Operation Hagios the Old Mystery has been changed to a traversal mission. This is definitely an interesting one here. They have added sniper monsters to the Fortress Defense Line Void Fragment mission to prevent simple macros. Next up, they have made it so that you can access the escape menu even when you are affected by down but not out state. Next up, we have some changes to aim assist. As someone that plays only on mouse and keyboard, I can't really speak to the effectiveness of this, or if people were really having a huge issue with it, but it is definitely a good thing, I am sure, for players who are playing on console, or for you weirdos that enjoy a controller over a mouse and keyboard on PC. And next up, what I think is probably one of the most welcome changes here. They have added page 13 for the Season 1 Battle Pass to include a crystallization catalyst, and this one is big, an energy activator. And the director has some notes on this. To meet the community's expectations for further improving the value of the Battle Pass rewards, we temporarily added page 13 for the Season 1 Battle Pass, while providing crystallization, catalysts, and energy activators as rewards. Even if you have already reached Season level 96, you can still receive the additional rewards on page 13. The dev team is working hard to incorporate feedback from the community to further improve the game and provide more value to players. Based on the feedback we received during the preseason, we have improved the Season 1 Battle Pass to make it easier to achieve weekly and seasonal missions. We appreciate your continued interest in the Season 1 Battle Pass, along with the Battle Supplies Shop, where you can receive free rewards. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most positive changes in this update. Adding more value to the paid Battle Pass is always going to be a positive. And when you add things that players really want, like crystallization catalysts and the energy activators, this is huge. As it stands now, we do of course get the character XP boosts, we have the weapon XP boosts, as well as the Kyber and gold boosts. But in my opinion, those are not quite enough. I would like to see a total of 3 crystallization catalysts offered throughout the Battle Pass and an energy activator somewhere towards the end of the Battle Pass. I think that would add the perfect amount of value. I'd even be okay with them taking away maybe the Kyber and gold boosts. I don't honestly see a lot of value in those. I think with the way invasions are working right now, I think most people who are doing the invasions currently probably have a surplus of gold lying around. Whereas, well, you know, I was going to say maybe people don't have a surplus of crystallization catalysts, but I think I have 17 patterns waiting in my inventory and maybe 3 energy activators, but I also play a ton. I think your average person who is just logging in for an hour or so after work probably doesn't have as much resources lying around. And next up we have another really fantastic set of changes. We have some buffs to some underutilized ultimate weapons. First up on the docket here, we have that they improved the base performance and unique ability of the ultimate weapon Wave of Light. They've decreased the recoil of Solar Halo while increasing the firearm critical hit rate and increased the duration of the effect depending on the enhancement level. Hitting enemies while Solar Halo is active now creates dusk, inflicting Lunar Halo on enemies within the range. Firearm attack is increased on hitting enemies inflicted with Lunar Halo. They have improved the base performance of the unique ability on the ultimate weapon Kingsguard Lance. The beam rifle, they have increased the base fire rate of Kingsguard Lance while decreasing the base time it takes to charge. You can now place up to 3 Guardian Lances, and the Lances automatically attack enemies within the damage range while placed. The damage interval of Guardian Lance is now affected by the fire rate of Kingsguard Lance. Increase the duration of the Guardian Lance depending on the enhancement level, and increase the duration, increase upon hit, and damage range of the Guardian Lance, with the maximum possible increase in range being limited. They have improved the base performance of the unique ability of the ultimate weapon Executor Shotgun, increased the base hipfire accuracy and aimed shot accuracy of Executor. While Executor's exaltation effect is active, failing to hit all fired bullets will no longer decrease the amount of stacks. They decrease the maximum stacks of the Executor's exaltation effect, and firing the gun at maximum stacks will no longer disable the ability, and they increased the accuracy of the firearm critical hit base based on the adjusted maximum stacks of the Executor's exaltation effect. Firearm critical hit damage and fire rate are also increased now. The Executor's Exaltation effect and maximum stacks now increase weak point damage instead of firearm attack. Firearm attack is no longer increased while hitting enemies inflicted with electrocution. They improved the base performance of the unique ability of the ultimate weapon Peacemaker. The single reload for peace effect is now also granted when using a fusion skill. The skill cost of the single reload for peace effect now decreases depending on the enhancement level, and they increased the non-attribute skill power per stack of the single reload for peace effect. They have improved the base performance of the unique ability of the ultimate weapon Excava. They decreased the number of stacks of voltage charge depending on the enhancement level in order to grant the energy grenade effect more quickly. They increased the additional damage of shooting while aiming when the energy grenade effect is active depending on the enhancement level. They slightly increased the projectile size of energy grenade, and they increase the electric resistance decrease of the voltage accumulation effect depending on the enhancement level. So next up, they made some pretty big adjustments to the way the loot filters work. I think I am going to make this into its own separate video, as there is quite a bit to cover here and we're already running a little bit long, so just know that the loot filters have been changed in quite a few ways. And then at the bottom here, we just have a bunch of bug fixes and a few other things. One big thing to note is that they have added a 50% bonus to weapon experience gains inside of dungeons, which is definitely really good to see. One of the biggest pains, in my opinion, is leveling weapons. Leveling your Descendants isn't all that bad, but leveling up your weapons really seems to be a pain. There isn't really a good non-gimmicky way to do it, so this is definitely something that we really needed. So all in all here, we have a lot of really positive changes. I'm really glad to see that Nexon is listening to the community here. They took out a bunch of things that people really found to be very annoying with the seasonal content. They have put a lot more value into the battle pass, which is really good to see. Granted, you do have to pay for that extra value, but it does incentivize players to actually purchase that battle pass, as you are going to be getting more for your dollar. And then finally, it's really good to see that there are still developers out there who understand that nerfing weapons or abilities never feels good, and that instead of nerfing weapons that are performing really well, such as the Thunder Cage or the Enduring Legacy, they're doing their best to bring up other weapons that are underperforming and being underutilized so that players find them to be more fun and more effective. I really wish a lot more studios would, I don't know, maybe understand this. I'm looking at you, Arrowhead. But yeah, again, a lot of really positive changes here, and we will be going over a more in-depth look into the new way that the loot filter works in a separate video. But for now, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, hopefully I have earned your subscription. Don't forget to check back for new content coming out all the time. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Have yourselves a good one.